Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Bible to write the book, to put together the book of Zion. It's written completely in Bible passages, so if you want to check it out, go to the King James Version because that is the correct interpretation. Now, today's episode is a continuation of my series on mental health issues and how to solve the problem of human suffering. I've come up with a technique to help people deal with their emotional problems. I call it the Scream Team, and it is about, more than anything else, allowing people to express their pent up emotions. And today I'm going to explain the members of the team and how they work so that you can understand how you can heal yourself through scream therapy. Now, scream therapy begins with a professional team of people dedicated to helping the person deal with their emotional trauma. We don't try to get to the core of the problem because you have to dig deep to get to the core of anything. So we begin at the surface with what is in front of us, with what is relevant right now. And it begins with a session with each of the team members so that the person can be evaluated, so that each team member can add their part of the healing process to the Scream Team. Now, we begin with our normal accepted psychological practitioner, the psychologist. The psychologist does what they normally do. They sit down, have a session with the patient to be healed, and they discuss general aspects of that person's life, how they feel, what core issues that they can think of, the surface stuff, because we always begin with the surface. So, the psychiatrist talks to the person, discusses their mental state, and any relevant issues that come up. We're not probing for anything here. This is just an overview. Then, the person goes to the Dianetics practitioner. Now, a Dianetics practitioner is used because they understand the technique of how to clear up emotional pain and suffering from the memories that you have. Your pain comes from emotional energy bound in your memories. And the Dianetics tech practitioner has the ability to take you through a walk down memory lane. And through that process, that person is looking for key triggers, things that will bring out your emotional trauma, things that you react to, people you react to, events that you react to, objects that you react to, things in your environment that add stress to your life. And without that part of the psychic evaluation, we don't have a complete picture of the mental state of the patient. The psychologist or psychiatrist only looks at the analytical side of the human person. The Dianetics practitioner also looks at the subconscious side, those things that that person isn't aware of. And that is just as important as the things that they are, which is one of the reasons why Dianetics has to be a part of this process. So, once the Dianetics practitioner is done, then our patient goes to the empath. The empath is a very unique individual. Now, in this society, people don't believe in telepathy. They don't believe in empathy. They don't believe in psychic abilities. Well, that's just stupid. Just because something can't be seen, felt, touched, does not mean it doesn't exist. We know that because we know that atoms exist. So if we can't see an atom and we know that it exists, how can you say that an empath doesn't exist? I am personally an empath, and I can guarantee you that when I interact with someone, I interact with them in a way that normal people don't, because I can feel their emotions. So I can tell not only what they're saying on the surface, what they're feeling on the surface, but I can see, I can feel what their emotional state truly is. Because most people don't know what their state is. They can't sense that underneath that anger that you portray to the world, there are other things that that anger is protecting you from. And it's these other things that are necessary to the healing process. Because anger is the surface of the thing. That's what you show the world. That's what you project. But underneath that is a total different level of feeling. And an empath can feel that. So then empath can know that anger is not the true issue of the person who we're dealing with. They will sense that it is the pain that covers, that the anger hides, that is the true issue. So they can direct the course of healing to get to those underlying emotional problems that is the true core of your problem. Very important, integral part of this team. Now then, once the empath is done and has, checked out your emotional state, then you're sent to a medium. A medium, as people should know, is somebody who has the ability to speak to people who have died, whose body is no longer functioning. Their soul is still there. They are still there. And they are very important to the psychic, emotional state of the living. Because everybody feels pain towards past relatives, the loss. But there are also aspects of your life that have to be dealt with that involve those people. If the person who hurt you is no longer alive, then you need a medium to help you communicate with that person so that you can heal. And sometimes healing requires you to confront the person who hurt you. And that's really what scream therapy is about. You're confronting your emotions and the underlying reasons for them, and you're expressing those emotions. And the best way to heal is to express that emotion to the person who caused it in the first place. You cannot overcome a fear unless you face it. You cannot release pent-up rage unless the person who caused that rage is there to be the subject of it. And sometimes that involves people who have passed. Now, there's also things in a person's life that their relatives can see that they don't see. And the people who have passed on, who are in your family line, they're your guardians. They've watched over you all of your life, and they know things about you that you don't know. And so the medium will have already discussed you with your deceased relatives. And then anyone who has messages for you from the other side, we will take care of that first. Because a lot of the pain that people feel has to do with the passing of relatives, unresolved issues, things that you didn't get to say. And it might not seem like much, but a lot of your pain and suffering stems from your lack of saying goodbye to that loved one. So we'll take care of that first with the session. But then we will also the medium will also be discussing all people who have died in conjunction with this person, particularly those who have done harm. Because those people, whether they want to cooperate in this or not, will cooperate in this. They do not have a choice. Choices end with death. In the in-between, there's no choices. There's only reflection and preparation for what comes next. And part of that preparation is to deal with life issues, things that happen during life. So, we'll deal with all that. We want you to know the people you're going to be working with so you can trust them. Which is why you will also have a meeting with your strong man, the person who is there to prevent you from harming yourself or others physically, and to allow you to act out your violent emotion. That person is taught to take a punch and knows how to give a punch without causing harm. Because sometimes what a person needs to heal is to pay penance for past crimes. And if it takes that to heal you, then we will provide that for you. So you will meet with your person who is there to physically protect you and to, at your instance, I mean, if you're going through therapy and you get to the realization that you deserve to get hurt, and the only thing that's going to help you feel better is to get punished, I got a guy for that. Because sometimes that is a healing thing. Ask any guy who fights. He'll tell you it's lethargic. They do it because it makes them feel better. And that's going to be part of our therapy too. That's one of the reasons why we have the strongman. So that strongman is going to like spar with you, kind of get to know you so that you guys can kind of interact a little bit. So once all of this is done, then these people get together and decide the course of action to take in your therapy section. And the next time, I will tell you about what that therapy session will probably look like. Like I said, this is something that I have done through the gray. And they have guided me through this process that I will guide you through. It really works. It's beautiful. As most things with the gray are. So let the gray watch you, protect you, guide you, keep you from all harm, and let them teach you right from wrong. And may you someday be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. We're going to help you find your joy. We're going to help you spread that joy. Because once your pain and suffering is over, there's nothing but joy. So stay happy and high. Know that I love you. Later. Because I'll never say goodbye.